One of the best things that you can do for weight loss is to eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a queen, and then tea like a pauper, or you call it supper.
In this video, we will have insights from Barbara O'Neill, an Australian promoter of natural health, who has conducted extensive research on diet and nutrition. Her lecture provides a detailed understanding of the impact of our dietary choices on weight loss.
We're going to be talking about weight loss. The first thing I'm going to look at, and there are a few factors that come together to cause this, and that number one is the food that we're eating. When we looked at the liver, we looked at this. So we're going to look at it again in relation to weight. And it's the high carbohydrate diet that many people are eating today. So bread is very common. Cereal, there's a whole aisle devoted to cereal. Many people having bread and cereal for breakfast, by mid-morning they're wanting something else, so they reach for, and we're just going to say cakes, etc. Also pasta. I didn't know what pasta and pizza was till I was about 18. Rice, potatoes, well, we ate potatoes every meal. Last and certainly least in nutritive value is the pure crystallized acid extracted from the sugarcane plant.
Understanding the impact of high carbohydrate diets on our bodies is crucial. Many of us rely heavily on these foods without realizing their long-term effects on weight and health. Next, let's delve into how our bodies process these carbohydrates and their journey through our digestive system.
And as we have looked at this, and we showed how when all of these things break down in the body, they break down to the singular structure of glucose. Our gastrointestinal tract is a hollow tube, and anything that goes into that hollow tube is not part of you or me until it gets broken down into tiny little particles, then it's absorbed into the blood, then it becomes part of you and me.
This absorption process is essential for converting food into energy. We'll now explore how glucose is transported in our bodies and the crucial role it plays in cellular function and energy production.
Here, to the CBD, the central business district of the human body, is the inside workings of the cell. In fact, one writer called the blood the river of life because of what it carries. And so it brings the glucose goes in under the action of insulin, goes through the 20-step pathway. I'm sure everyone's very familiar with the inside workings of the cell. And that 20-step pathway gives us 2 units of energy. Isn't that why we eat? To run our energy cycles. The end result of the 20-step pathway is a chemical form of glucose called pyruvate. And pyruvate, as the chemical form of glucose, gets fed into what's called the powerhouse, because these 8 little chemical reactions, this 8-step pathway, delivers impressive 36 units of energy.
Understanding glucose conversion reveals why some foods fuel us better and highlights the science behind our energy levels. Next, we'll look at the role of oxygen in this process and how it differentiates between aerobic and anaerobic pathways.
And the reason why the 8-step pathway gives 36 units of energy is the presence of oxygen. So this is called the aerobic pathway, whereas this pathway is called the anaerobic pathway because it does not use oxygen. It produces energy by the process of fermentation.
The presence of oxygen significantly boosts energy production, emphasizing the value of aerobic activities. Now, let's discuss the body's use of glucose and glycogen stores, particularly for exercise.
So when we eat the carbohydrates, they're broken down to glucose. The first place the glucose is sent is to the cell. The second place it is sent, because only so much can go through the energy cycles, then it is stored as glycogen. They're little molecules of glucose sitting in the muscle cell. And that's why the best time to exercise is early morning. Because in early morning, when you're starting to move, some people say, well, how are we going to get fuel to actually exercise? It's your glycogen stores already sitting in your muscle cell. And when the cell needs it, it's plucked and it's released. Amazing process.
Understanding the timing and storage of glycogen can optimize our exercise routines for better results. Now let's explore the common misconception about fats in our diets and how it impacts our hunger and weight management.
But on the high carbohydrate diet, and this is what a lot of people don't realize, especially when people go on a weight loss diet and stop all the fat, yeah? Fat-free this, fat-free that, fat-free, fat-free, fat-free. And yet what are they eating? Lots of carbohydrates. Do you know fat gives the feeling of satiation or satisfaction? And the best weight loss diet is a diet that stops your hunger. And fat stops the hunger.
Fat keeps us full, while cutting it can lead to carb overload and weight gain. Next, let's explore how excess glucose turns into body fat.
So what's happening on this high carbohydrate diet? People have eliminated the fat and they're eating lots and lots and lots of this, not realizing that that excess glucose, once we've filled up the energy cycle, we've filled up the glycogen stores, and so now the body sends it to the fat cells. In fact, it's one of the most dangerous fats because what the body does is it stores it in the probably areas of the body that's not used a lot, maybe the arms, the belly, the hips, the thighs, and then when that gets all filled up, then it starts to go to the internal organs, weighing them down.
Excess glucose turning into fat fuels weight gain and health issues. Understanding nutrient calorie content is key to effective diet management.
Another very misunderstood fact is that glucose burns at 4 calories per gram, whereas fat, it burns at 9 calories per gram. This piece of information, which is fact, is in just about every weight loss book as proof that if you want to lose weight, don't eat the fat. It's going to give you more than twice the calories. But what the people don't understand is what a calorie is. A calorie is a unit of energy. And if you want a high energy food, what do you eat? Fat. It's going to give you more than twice the units of energy compared to glucose. But if you're eating more calories than you can burn, yes, it's going to be stored.
This highlights the importance of understanding caloric intake and energy expenditure. Next, we'll discuss the benefits of structuring our meals throughout the day for optimal weight management.
That's why one of the best things that you can do for weight loss is to eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a queen, and then tea like a pauper, or you call it supper. And one mother said to me, I put my millet on at night, so by morning when I get up, there it is, hot, ready to eat. She said, I wash my slow cooker, and then I put my soaked beans that I've rinsed and brought to the boil and rinsed again, put them in, put the vegetables, and put the slow cooker on again. She's a homeschool mum. She says, because I feed the children so well in the morning, how does she feed them? She feeds them a high fibre diet. All your plant foods have fibre. She feeds them generous proteins. So what are the proteins? Legumes, nuts, seeds, they're your best proteins. And healthy fats. Healthy fats are found in your nuts, your seeds, your coconut oil, olive oil.
Strategic meal planning boosts energy and health, while the timing and composition of meals play a pivotal role in digestion and weight management. Let's hear what Barbara says.
They're the two oils that have stood the test of time, yeah? They've been used for centuries. And so changing the times that you eat, that makes a big difference. And changing the food you eat makes a huge difference.
Consistency and food quality are crucial for weight loss, and knowing your digestive system enhances dietary choices.
When we put food in our stomach, we should now leave it. Let it do its work. After about an hour and a half, 2 hours, start sipping on some water. Then you don't water down your hydrochloric acid. It takes 3.5 to 4 hours to digest a meal. But when someone has a balanced meal, which is shown here, it takes about 3.5 to 4 hours. And then the stomach loves a 1 hour rest. rest. Let your stomach have a rest between meals. And in that rest time, it has time to revive and restore and replace the digestive enzymes it used at the last meal.
Allowing our digestive system to rest between meals can enhance its efficiency and health. Time-restricted eating aligns with these natural rhythms and can support weight management.
And that's why the time-restricted eating, we've talked about this a couple of times, time-restricted eating is basically a modern name for this. All you need to do is greatly reduce the carbohydrates, ideally stop the wheat, eat more vegetables, eat more legumes, nuts and seeds, and you can get a similar result.
Adopting a low-carb, high-fiber diet rich in vegetables and legumes can provide substantial health benefits. Let's now explore the essential food groups and their roles in our bodies.
These 3 food groups are the essential food groups. Protein is essential because the crossword bands, remember we looked at the DNA on the first night, it's made up of amino acids. Amino acids is a breakdown from the protein we eat, and it's amino acids that builds the new cells in the body. And 50% of the membrane around every cell in the body is protein. That's essential. Fat is essential. The fat-free diet is a dangerous diet. There are fats that'll kill and there are fats that'll heal. And because there are some killer fats, they've all been dumped in the same basket. What are the killer fats? The altered fats. 50% of the membrane around every cell in the body is fat except for the brain cell, 70% fat.
Recognizing the importance of proteins and fats while avoiding harmful altered fats is crucial for overall health. We'll now see how Dr. Atkins's research supports these findings and the role of carbohydrates.
So these are the essential food groups, and what Dr. Atkins showed, and he went into the medical journals and he found confirmation on this, that the non-essential food group is carbohydrates. And how many people are overdoing the non-essential and missing out on the essential? So number 2 for weight loss, low carbohydrate. Low carb, high fibre, generous protein and healthy fats. 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. And when you start drinking more water, it's also time to start having some whole salt.
Proper hydration and salt intake support overall bodily functions and can enhance weight loss efforts. Exercise is another critical factor in achieving sustainable weight loss.
And so number 4 is exercise. Exercise causes a dramatic weight loss. And yet the beauty of implementing this is that as you lose weight, you don't get the saggy, baggy elephant effect.
Incorporating regular exercise helps tone the body and prevents loose skin during weight loss.
There's one other factor, and this was the mind.
Our mindset and mental health play a significant role in our ability to lose weight.
Number 6, hormones. And the contraceptive pill, exposure to plastics, exposure to environmental poisons causes a rise in a hormone called estrogen. And estrogen is a cell proliferator. Cell proliferator means causes massive cell growth. And when a person's hormones are out of balance, it's almost impossible to lose weight. So balancing the hormones is another aspect.
Addressing hormonal imbalances and environmental factors is essential for effective weight loss and long-term health. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know how these insights help you on your weight loss journey.